Last episode, we found the cobalt we needed for thrusters. Now we take the next essential step, industrializing our resource gathering. We're moving away from hand mining and dramatically scaling up our resource intake. Today we're building our first flying miner, but there are two paths, the drift miner or the plunge miner. Both hold the same amount of ore and fly at the same speed, but the difference is in safety and complexity. We will build both to help you decide which is right for your base. We need to build a temporary build platform using a landing gear and armor blocks. And we finished our base upgrade by building the dedicated docking station. Replace the last conveyor with a small cargo container. Build the vertical column for clearance and cap it with a large grid small connector for easy resource transfer. Path A is the drift miner. Ideal for players who want to maintain stable horizontal flight while drilling. We start by dropping a landing gear near the edge and building 4 armor blocks out from the base. Attached to the end block is a medium cargo container horizontally, with its small port connecting to the armor. On the front, we add a conveyor converter and a drill facing forward. We then add 2 conveyor converters side by side, mirroring the cargo drill setup on the far side, leaving a gap in the middle. The cockpit is placed on the middle converter facing forward. We power the ship with a large battery on the back of each cargo container. Now for the crucial part, thrusters. Place a large atmospheric thruster right behind the cockpit. Then add left and right thrusters on top of each cargo container. For forward acceleration, place 2 small thrusters on the side of the batteries. And mirror that on the front near the drills for strong braking thrust. Finally, for upward lift, we add 4 small thrusters on the inside, next to each battery, supporting the main large thruster. Or the ability to control the ship remotely, place the remote control block behind the large thruster, and the gyroscope on the back of that. An antenna goes on top, and the ore detector goes underneath. The camera goes on the front conveyor port for aiming. We then add a small connector to the medium container. Mirror this when you grind away the armor block we started building the ship from. At this point, the ship is fully functional, but I like to add armor blocks and conveyor caps for aesthetics. These design choices are purely cosmetic, but they are crucial for making your ship feel like your own. Remember, this is a very basic miner and it won't hold a ton of ore, but it's a huge step up from hand drilling. It is also highly upgradable, so feel free to let your imagination run wild and customize it. Path B is the plunge miner, the vertical master. This ship focuses all its thrusters on lift and stability. We start by connecting our first medium cargo container, small port to the armor block. We use a conveyor converter to transition to a small port, then attach a drill facing down. Now for the vertical spine. Add a conveyor converter to the opposite side of the first cargo container, large port up. Place the cockpit on top. And then we mirror the setup above it, a second cargo container, conveyor converter, and drill, making a stacked design. Power comes from a small grid large battery on the top of both medium cargo containers. Next, the thrusters. Place a large atmospheric thruster underneath the cockpit. And add one small thruster to the front and the back of the large thruster. The forward and reverse movement comes from small thrusters on the batteries, 2 forward and 2 reverse on the left and right batteries. For strafing, add 2 left-right thrusters to the front side of the batteries, and mirror those on the back side. Finally, add a downward-facing thruster on either side of the cockpit door. Underneath the cockpit, we add the gyroscope. The remote control goes on the front of the ship above the small upward thruster. For docking, place 2 small connectors on the side of the conveyor converters attached to the drills. On armor blocks below the connectors, place the ore detector right side and antenna left side, both facing down. Add cameras on small armor blocks on either side of the remote control for aiming. This vertical design makes mining less complex and generally safer. From there, I moved to designing the ship, adding conveyor caps over unused ports and armor blocks to make the ship more aesthetically pleasing. All these design choices are purely aesthetic and don't benefit the ship functionally, but I personally like to make my ships look good. This basic setup is complete and highly adaptable for future upgrades. Now let's find that iron vein. Use the ore detector and camera to line up your descent. Execute the perfect plunge. Your miner is now complete. You are now able to gather specialized resources rapidly and not rely on stone. This new flow of materials, however, is going to overload our current production system. Next episode, we focus on advanced production. That means expanding this power structure with 4 more horizontal wind turbines to handle the full-size refinery and assembler we need. We'll also start talking about long-term food security. We can't live off kelp crisp forever. We need to find those seeds and start building our first greenhouse. For more helpful information, you can also check out the official Space Engineers Wiki. I'll make sure to drop a link to it in the description below. If you have suggestions for videos or this series, leave a comment down below and consider joining the Discord. Links are down in the description. As always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more. I'll see you in the next video.